Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life and welcome to a few foundation pages I'm creating for my 2021 December daily. These are the first two I actually got my hands on to create before my actual Ellie Edwards goodies from 2021 release came to me. The first thing I really wanted to do was go ahead and this idea of wrapping twine around a number and then creating that number as a tag or something like that. I've seen a bunch of different ways of it being done and I just wanted to go ahead and do my own. So I pulled out the large wood numbers that I had left on hand. I had a 6 and a 9, so two sixes, a 0 and a 7. And so I looked on the days. Day 7 I think is like a Tuesday. Chances of us doing anything crazy exciting that day, not so much. And I felt that was a good one. I will theme it so that I can document our holiday music or movies or something along the lines of that when the day comes is my plan. So I'm going to go ahead and twist it around. You can see I've got my red line tape there. I made this probably a little bit more complicated than I needed to, but I just really wanted to make sure it would stick. And I knew this was going to be a bit of a chunky piece because it's a wood veneer to begin with, so it's chunky. And then I'm adding twine on top of it, so it's pretty thick. And I am not a 2-album person. I have to make all 25 days fit in my one album. I refuse to do 2 albums. So I have to be a little cautious about where I add bulk. However, I normally have room to add a little bit, and so I'm giving myself permission to add it here because I think this is really fun and it is something that has been on my to-do list for a very long time. So you can see I'm just using the red line and I'm putting it in the back, and in the front I'm twisting the twine around it so you cannot see it. We all know red line tape is amazing. It sticks, it's not going anywhere. And then in the back of it, I really stick a whole bunch of it on the back, and then I'll stick it down onto my tag, which you'll see in a minute. And that sucker is not going anywhere. So it definitely worked, and I love the effect. This is just some really cute twine that I had. It's got a Christmas tree on it and a couple beads, and it's got this black and white look to it. So I grabbed that black and white and silver, I guess that's gold, tag, and I'm loving the darkness of this. I don't normally add dark elements to my albums, but I also had this thicker sheet. I'm pretty sure this is from Rosie Studios, I'm pretty sure. At this point in my process, I knew that I was going to go ahead and make it kind of a music theme. At the beginning, I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I'm going to add this little Christmas tree for a pop of color to it because most of it's going to be black and gold. That's kind of the theme. But I wanted there to be a hint of color somewhere, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. I'm going to add the fa la la, make that stick the way I want it to, and then top it off with some of the gold stars that you can see on that thicker sheet those aren't thickers, puffy sticker sheet as well. And I just love how this turned out. It's so cute. My plan is in the back, and you'll see it in the finished photo, but I have a cut file that is like of a film reel, and so I'll add my film, the videos we watch, to that one, and hopefully I'll have music on the back side of this tag or something. I'm not exactly sure what the day will look like. I am trying to give myself some freedom for flexibility for that. Maybe I'll have a full 6x8 photo. I really don't know, but I just love how it turned out. I'm happy how it looks against the film reel. Like I said, you'll see it in a minute in the finished photo. And it just all kind of came together perfectly. Takes me a minute to get all of this lined up. A lot of times I see how the puffy things are lined up, and I want it to look like that too. So there we go. That is how that one turned out. Super happy with that. And now we're going to move on to this next one, which is actually going to be the start of Christmas Day. And for the most part, I'll exclusively be using the Vicki Boutin Winter Wishes collection. I am guest designing using this collection for the month of November for Scrapbook Your Joy. So I have these little stockings that came in an advent calendar, and I had 3 of them. I have 3 children, so I was thinking I would hang 3 of them over a 2-page 6x8 spread. That's kind of where my brain is going and what I'm thinking. you're going to see it changes, but that is my original plan. So I'm just trying to figure out which full sheet I want to cut down, which one plays off the best with the red, because Vicki Boutin, as you all know, is very distressed, and I find that hard to do, especially when, for the most part, I'm not really a distressed type of look in my albums, whether it be December Daily or just in general. So I do struggle, and I'm trying to find the lightest one that's going to work with the red. And her embellishments are all have this bit of a distressed look to them as well, because that's her style, and she's amazing with that, and so many people make them work. But I had to figure out how to do this without losing the me to the layout, if that makes sense. So I'm working with it. I've got my first one down. I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut down the rest of the stockings and just start with the one page. My plan is to look through the ephemera, find a tag that's going to fit into the stocking, because originally my plan is to have a photo and some journaling of each kid's stocking for Christmas Day. This is my plan. I found one tag that's really cute. It fits perfectly in there, and it's all coming together really well. So I'm going to work with that. You can see I've already added my red line adhesive to it. I'm going to peel it off as best as I can. The thing with this is felt, so you're gonna see me struggle to try to grab it. Thankfully, I have a little length to my fingernails, not much, but a little bit, enough that I can get underneath it to get it to stick. And I already know that the tag's gonna work, so I just leave the tag there. So I've got a placement for where I want the stocking to go back down on. Carefully got all those pieces up. I'm now going to remove that tag so I don't accidentally stick it onto the stocking, and get this stuck down and put all the little pieces, edgings tucked in, so it looks like it's the full stocking, even though I cut the back of it off, so there's just not as much bulk, because like I said, I don't want my albums to be too crazy. And at this point I was like, I don't know about all three, so I scrapped the two of them, and I'm just gonna make this my opening part to day 25, so Christmas morning. This is just going to be my opening thing to it. And so I'm going to look through all these different pieces and find what I feel works. I actually really like the way that Christmas looks now that I'm watching it back, but at that moment I did not. So I picked the 25th of December instead, and I just have that bottom corner. I have to find something that's going to fit in there. I'm thinking this deer, it's chipboard, is a little bit of a different texture to it. Honestly, I could have made it work. It's cute, but it just wasn't really working and calling my name. So I'm going to put that back and come up with a different idea. And you will see in a moment that that idea is to add the little cup, because my plan is, if it's like any other Christmas that I've ever had, I am normally one of the very first awake, if not the first person awake. I am worse than a little kid on Christmas. I am awake by like 3 a.m. It's horrible. And so I always take a picture of myself with my coffee looking at the tree with all the presents and all that. It tends to be a reoccurring photo within my albums. And that's kind of my plan now with this spread, is I'll have that photo on the tag with some journaling. I have that spot you can see that I'm adding that can also have a bit of journaling if I so choose, or maybe a photo. I don't really know. Again, leaving myself the ability to make it work when I want to, when the day comes, because I don't want to over scrap it, if that makes sense, like over make the foundation page so that I'm stuck with only one option and then that option doesn't actually work on that day. I don't want that to happen, so I'm trying to keep it loose and my abilities to do whatever I need to do with it. And now I'm going to go ahead and get this into the page protector, because I already know that it needs to be on a certain side, because that's the way I do things, and that then a couple pieces are going to be put onto the top, and that's going to wrap that up. So there is a look at the finished layout for that one as well. I hope you enjoyed these two looks into my process for foundation pages, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye everyone.